What's going on, guys? It's Might Be. Today we're going to be going over the best way to make stubs in Diamond Dynasty. Now this guide will make you up to 200,000 stubs an hour just by going over a couple different things that I do daily. This is how I've made an absolute god squad, no money spent this year, and especially in game right now, getting stubs is a lot easier than it was at the beginning of the game, and I'm going to be going over every single little way that I do to help get me stubs and get my stub count up. Before we get in this video, make sure to hit that like and sub button as we're on that road to 2,000 subscribers, and let's get right into the freaking video. Alright boys, so the first thing that I'm going to recommend is going to be a pretty obvious one. It's actually going to be do the inning program. Now I know a lot of you guys actually don't really like grinding this, but do the showdown, do the conquest, make sure you're doing all these collections. There's just so many little things that you can do, especially like this awards, Mike Trout. You can even just lock them in. If you already have them, just take advantage of the stars. A lot of people actually end up missing this, so just make sure you're doing your inning. I mean, these stubs, just they kind of end up adding up, and they kind of just keep on going over, and those are some easy ways to get stubs. The next way is obviously going to be the event. Now, I know a lot of people don't really enjoy the event, and currently I'm not even going after the event, but Finest Josh Bell and some of these cards are actually going for a lot of stubs. At 16 wins, you actually get Ryan Braun, who's up right now for about 300,000 stubs. And these games, they're not that hard to win. They just kind of take time, and if you want to play the game to get stubs right now, the event is the best way to do that. And then as you get up even further and further, there are even better cards. The Slaughter is going for about 400k right now, which is absolutely insane. If you guys want stubs, you guys got to go after this. Slaughter, not the greatest card, but as far as market value, you got to look at it like, I'm not grinding for 97 overall Slaughter. I am grinding for 400,000 subs. I mean, that's pretty much 700,000 stubs right there. And then this card right here has got to be going for a lot. It's a 98 Josh Bell. He's a switch hitting first baseman. If you guys don't want to keep this card, and honestly looks really good, he's going for 1,000,000 stubs right now. Now he'll probably end up dropping down a little bit. I could see him ending up being about 700, 800k. But the thing is with the market being so inflated right now and everything being just crazy expensive, getting this Josh Bell done will help you get so many stubs in Diamond Dynasty. Now I know that a lot of people don't like grinding the event. Now one way that helps beating the event and getting it done faster, one thing that I always used to do is I used to actually forfeit my first game. That way you're facing someone who's 0-1. Whenever you're facing someone who's 0-1 every single time, you're going to win that game. I ended up, I am a top 200 player, but I did end up winning about 80% to 90% of games whenever I ended up doing that. It really wasn't that hard, and I felt like a lot of the people I was facing weren't very good at the game. So if you're struggling to get wins, definitely try that. Definitely try forfeiting more. It'll help you get more stubs and get to 50 wins faster, and that way you can get that brand new Josh Bell. Now the other thing is that you're wanting to do is you're going to want to do Showdown. Now Showdown, a lot of people, they just don't like it, and I understand, but to run it back each time you do it, I mean, you're going to be getting a pretty decent card, and you can sell those cards for about 70k. Now I know that a lot of people just don't like Showdown, and I completely understand that it's not necessarily the most fine and great thing, but the thing about that too is that whenever you play Showdown, Showdown is also the best way to get XP right now. And if you're not like me and you're not a prestige level 100 already, that XP reward path can get you a ton of free stubs, ton of free packs, and a Mike Trout or a brand new live series player. Maybe you'll get lucky and end up getting a DeGrom, which is going to be worth about 250k. So just keep on doing that, keep on grinding. Showdown is really good for a couple different ways, and it's just really good in every aspect of the game. Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about, which is a very, very important one, is going to be flipping cards on the market. Now I know that a lot of people are kind of skeptical about this, and so I'm going to go over how to do it, and I'm going to go over which cards I'd recommend to flip. Now the thing about doing the market is the market can be very, very, very good, but it can also be very, very annoying. Now sometimes whenever I flip cards on the market, it just goes super, super fast, and whenever it goes super fast, it's absolutely great. But with the declining player base because of the lack of content in MLB The Show 20, one of the things that you're just gonna have to do is you might have to wait. It might take 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of flip. And one of the ways that I like doing this is some of these cards that have really big gaps, they don't move fast, so that's why I like a little middle ground. Now the first type of cards that I'd recommend flipping is gotta be the 2020 postseason. Now I talk about this all the time, but this Carlos Correa, the Darno, and the Albies, they move an absolute ton, and look at these gaps right now. So So if you're doing these while you're playing moments, you're just going to maximize your stubs. And the thing about Ozzy Albies is that this is a huge increase. Let's say you buy one right now for 10,602. Now what you do is you put a buy order in. You do it for 10,602. I'll do it right now so you guys can see it. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to wait for someone to get that card, and then whenever you get that card, you're actually going to create a sell order, and you're going to sell it for 23,890. Just so it's one stub less. You don't want to go more than that because you don't want to break it. Now, here's the thing: is you bought that card for 10,000. You're selling that card and you're receiving 21,000. So right now for Ozzy Albies, that is an 11,000 increase per flip. And the thing about that is that you can just keep on doing this and keep on doing it over and over and over and over again, literally as much as you want. And you can do this with different cards as well. I recommend if you're doing this like twice or 3 times an hour, just check your orders, do the Albies, do the Darno, do the Correa, and you're going to be making about 10,000 and sometimes even about 12,000 to flip. So you can do that mindlessly. Just do that while you're playing games, and you can make stubs just like that. So you can make literally about 40K in an hour just by doing this. And if you want to amp it up and do even more, you can keep on going and keep on going. Now, whenever I needed stubs at the beginning of the year, the very first thing that I did was I just flipped cards. Just got 300 here, 500 there, 700 there, and it really adds up. And you can do as many as you want at a time. And the thing is if they're just not selling, you go into your orders and you go to your completed orders, your active orders, and you just cancel it. It's pretty simple, and it's something that's not that hard to do. And whenever you want to do this, it helps an absolute ton, because whenever you're going to be needing stubs, this is a very easy way to do it. Now, the last way that I'm going to talk about in this video on how to make stubs is actually going to be doing some of the moments. Now, I know a lot of the people don't really love moments in this game, and I understand moments can be pretty annoying, pretty unsettling, kind of just annoying. But the thing is you gotta do the postseason moments. If you haven't done the postseason moments, make sure you do those first. Now, these moments are absolutely great, and they just get you a ton of cards. And then the last thing that I'm gonna talk about is tops now. Now, not many people do tops now, and the thing about the tops now is you get 3 players here, and it's just 2 players, 3 players here, and these take about 45 minutes to do. So let's say you do this. Let's say you do the Kershaw one. You go to the tops now, you want to sell the cards, and you go all the way over here, you go and look at tops now. A bunch of these cards are really high because people have already done the moments and they're wanting their cards back. And the thing about that is this, most of these cards are going for a huge amount. Alec Mills, whenever he was 5,000, going for 33K. I know he's not one of those. Trey Turner for 24, Giolito's for 38, Duvall 18. I mean, just look at some of these cards. These are tops now cards. Kensei Maeda is someone that you can get from the challenges, which is 37,000. Now, whenever you're doing this on top of flipping cards, this is going to be how you can make up to 200,000 an hour and 300,000 subs an hour, literally just by sitting and grinding the game. It's something that's not very hard to do, and it's something that whenever you do, it can be very effective because you can get so many stubs in a short amount of time by selling these cards in the moments and flipping them at the same time. You can do them both hand in hand, and that's how you're going to make a ton of stubs in MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty.